Dude, you've been having a go at it.
You know, there is a.
You want to talk? I didn't know if you wanted to discuss
no,
this.
I'm willing to share my misfortune with others.
Let's let the people in, Rob. What's going on in your world?
First of all, have you ever heard that old wives' tale that bad luck comes in threes?
Yes.
It's not an old wives' tale, is it? It is fact.
I believe
it is truth. There are very few of those cosmic things that I believe are out there. This is one of them.
I believe in it.
And I'm in the midst of it, man.
What's going on?
I'm in the throes of the three misfortunes, the Deathly Hallows, if you were. Started about a week and a half ago. I was having my power in my house looked weird, but in hindsight, it had been happening for a bit. I just felt like the lights weren't as bright. Refrigerator wasn't as cold, but everything was working. It just, one of those, it's kind of like when your brakes go bad in your car. You don't notice it, but somebody else gets in your car like, man, you got to get your brakes fixed. What the hell was that? Well, you don't know it because you've been driving your car forever.
Right.
So it's kind of like our house. So we had an electrician come out because it had gotten to the point where lights were now flickering and my heater wasn't working on a cold night. This was last week.
I remember.
So I have the agency, the group out, and they think they've got it fixed. They leave, and they leave me this nice write-up, and it seems like everything's working. Well, I go to Dallas over the weekend, and while we're gone, the windstorm did not help. Let's just add this, and I think that probably exacerbated a deeper problem than we thought existed. So I've come back on Sunday, and we're back to square one, same problem. Half the house has power, other half is flicking on and off, and the rest is nothing. Which means I have no heat. The last couple of nights have been cold. So I call them on Sunday. They can't come out till yesterday. And they check it out. Yeah, we're in the 3 digits now. Hopefully not. We won't get to 4 for the new wires. We're getting gold plated, Rudy. I spare no. My electrician, he goes first class.
So
we get the gold.
Is this do you need the gold plated? I mean, no, and I'm not knocking. I'm not knocking the electric company, but do you need gold plated wires?
Well, for the price, I think they're gold plated. I'd like to assume they are. Okay. I'd like to think he brought me the Cadillac plan.
Okay.
He said for a man of your ilk,
yeah,
I recommend the very best.
Right.
And I'm Daddy Warbucks. Yeah, let's do it, baby. So that price seemed a little shocking, but I'm down because right now I'm suffering. So that's strike one.
Mm-hmm.
And which is a long strike because this is the same electric group that came back out. So they're out. I expect them there today at noon. So last night was bad. I have a 17-year-old dog that I love her, but
this is Lola.
No, this is Ginger.
Ginger. Okay.
Ginger is nearing the end of her journey. She is
tough,
and she's dealing with an abscess on her leg. It's not pretty, but this is what happens at the end of life with an animal. Veterinarians are working. You can't get a vet appointment. It's harder to get a vet appointment than it is to go to see your cardiologist. I mean,
what's harder?
You're booking months in advance.
Yes. Oh, so this harder to get a vet appointment than a COVID test.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Which is another thing.
Which is tough.
Which is another thing. So yes, I'm trying to find a vet. My vet's like, how's she doing? We can't see her till 2023. I hope it's not too bad. And if it is, we recommend going to a emergency hospital.
Okay.
And my vet gave me, these are the ones we recommend. Mm-hmm. So I called my vet yesterday saying, this is bad. I called them on Friday of last week when this was getting bad. I said, well, it's just busy. Doesn't sound life-threatening. We'll see her next Wednesday. At this point on Friday, things are bad, but they ain't horrible. We've progressed.
Okay.
So yesterday I get home and she's not looking good, and this is looking worse and worse. So we go to the emergency room last night, about 9:00. They say it's going to be a little bit of a wait. It's COVID, so you wait out in the parking lot. So let's all thank goodness for iPads, devices, or lives would have been taken last night. So I said, long story short, we wait for hours. She gets triaged. The tech comes out early on and says, oh, poor thing. Yeah, we'll see her. Here's all the stuff. Fill out your paperwork. We'll come get you when we're ready. Don't leave. You got like 4 minutes when we come get you. Okay. If you're not here, next in line. You're committed. Vet clinics are busy. 6-hour waits on average every night.
I can't believe
6-7 hour wait. So if you wanted to go get a COVID test and go see the vet, that would take you a day and a half. You'd have to pack and take some clothes.
Damn.
So I get to the vet last night about 9:30. But the good news is I'm leaving a dark, half-cold house. So I'm not all that upset.
But still.
It could have been worse. I mean, my wife was in about the same circumstance I was, but for a 17-year-old dog that's terrified in your back seat. So that starts at 9:30. We finally get done about 3 with essentially nothing happening but a change of dressing. They're like, well, you can't. Well, this is bad, and she needs to see a vet. That's just not what we do. We are a triage service. We will, we'll get the dog stable, and then you go see your vet for the long-term treatment.
So after 6 hours, you get told we can't do anything.
There's really not a lot we can do. Things are cleaned up now. It's a fresh bandage. So I mean, they did what they could, but I didn't realize that at the beginning. I thought that.
Did they give her the cone?
I had a cone.
You have a cone.
They had the $35 gold-plated cone, but I have one at home.
You kept your cone from the other previous visits.
Yeah,
you learned
to
keep
my
it.
first rodeo,
right,
Rudy.
Right.
So went home with the bandage, but the bandage was not so tight I didn't put the cone on the poor dog. But we're nearing the end there. So I get home about 3:30. My dog is exhausted. She can only walk on 3. She's got this golf ball on her.
You're carrying her.
Oh, well, she's walked. She doesn't like to be carried. And by this point, this is a 17-year-old surly dog who's blind. She's going to bite me. She's not happy. She's old and mad.
She's grumpy.
Yes. So I get home. I come to work. I get up at 4. I get home about 3:30. So you
didn't go to sleep.
I didn't go to sleep.
You napped in the car a little bit.
Of course,
though,
right? I dozed. And then the third thing is yesterday, as we're dealing with the power, I'm talking with my wife as she's eating a breakfast biscuit. She cracks off half of a tooth. So this thing about 3's
is real.
Is real. Now let's just hope it ain't 4's.
No, it's 3's. You're good.
Well, the reason I hope, because I do have
the universe. I think you're good.
We're sending that out.
Yeah.
Because I hope my visit to the veterinarian today.
Dude, you got some money put away, but electrician and vets, these don't sound like cheap. These aren't cheap things you're dealing with.
No, they are not.
My goodness.
Growing up, my daddy always used to say, by August, I give up hope.
Yeah. But you know what this tells me? Because this is how life works. This tells me you come into some money recently, because when you come into it, that's when things go awry. Like, oh, I'm getting ahead.
No new money.
I need a transmission.
No new money. No, nothing like that.
Dude, so when is your body going to say, all right, Rob, that's it. I've given you all.
I think it happened about 8 minutes and 4 seconds ago.
I'm giving them, Carl, about 8:15, 8:30-ish. Have your mic hot. Rob may just lose train of thought. Yeah. He hasn't been to sleep today.
How will we know the difference?
So have your mic hot. I don't know when my man is going to shut down completely.
We have never actually stayed on our rundown. Fun fact. Maybe twice 2 segments a show.
I don't know.
When we have Caroline on.
I don't know what's going to happen to my guy by 8:30, 9 o'clock. Because I know how the body works, especially on those type of nights.
Well, I'm with you in spirit.
I know. Well, dang, I hope all works out, man. I mean, the electricity will get fixed, but, the dog situation, that stinks.
The box on the pole on the outside of our house
is fried. Right? How?
I don't understand electricity. I stay as far away from it as possible, as long as it's wrapped in plastic or rubber and I'm not in any danger, I'll stay close. But so I don't know. And the diagnosis occurred yesterday while I was here. So I have some pictures, and then I went out and looked at it yesterday, and I haven't actually talked to the actual electrician. This is all through my wife, but the pictures are.
At any point in your life, in your marriage, were you the guy that says, I can fix this on my own?
I would have never touched electricity.
Okay, not electricity. Anything else you might have
tried?
Years
of experience, I don't deal with anything that's water or electricity.
No. Because I know plenty of those guys are they'll call up a buddy. Because again, when they tell you some of these prices, whether it be AC, hot water heater, when stuff happens when you own a home, sometimes you think about calling a few buddies. You know what? Such and such does such and such. Maybe he can come by. Because sometimes these prices get crazy.
What's the most difficult thing you ever did around the house that you started a project that was definitely above your skill set, but you finished it and you're proud of it? A good ending.
At my house, nothing. Now, when I had this is the thing. My brother-in-law is a do-it-yourself kind of dude, right? He refuses to pay anybody to do anything for him. So when we opened our small little sandwich shop,
Sports Center is brought to you by.
We opened our small sandwich shop. He wanted to do the plumbing on his own. He wanted us to do it.
Plumbing.
And that was a complete. Plumbing. It was a complete disaster. We ended up doing some trade. We ended up getting it done for trade. But when we were trying to do that, and you got to remember, he's telling me, well, we need this PCV and this, that. And I'm like, bro, I don't know what this is. And even though it didn't work out, it was all right. But when the
probably
people,
not up to code,
yeah,
but
right, that's when we found out that when the code people came, they were like,
"What is this?
What is it?"
It works. The water leaves.
The plumber came and he was like, "Yo, y'all did this?" And I was like, "Yeah, we did this." And he was like, "Y'all aren't passing. y'all are not gonna pass. You should have seen it." But it's about 6 trips to home. No, probably 8 trips to Home Depot, couple trips to Lowe's, which don't get me started on Lowe's. Lowe's just hires anybody. Lowe's people never know. They never know anything. You're like, "Hey, do you know?" No, not really. Home Depot, at least.
I'd recommend aisle 7.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So that's probably the extent of me ever trying to do something manly, I guess. I don't know what the word is. You?
What's the best tool you have? Do you have an expensive tool? Like do you have a saw?
Yes.
You have like a bandsaw or a rotary saw?
Yeah, I have one of those ones you plug in.
Like, does the blade go up and down or does it spin?
Spins.
Okay, so you got that.
Yeah, I got that.
Got a drill?
Got a drill.
Got a drill. Got a sander, a belt sander?
Hell no.
No, I don't have a belt sander?
No. That's out of my
table saw? A router?
That's over my pay grade.
What about a Dremel? You got a little multi-tool?
What's a Dremel?
It's a little multi-tool it produces high RPMs. So you can put grinders on, or you can put another thing on that'll attach and do all kinds of crazy stuff.
I take it you have all of this.
Yeah, I do.
Do you use it?
I used to manufacture reasons to use them. Now I just wait to have to use them. In my younger years, I'd get a Dremel and go, you know what I can do with this? Now I just have it. And when there's an occasion, I'm a firm believer that every job has a proper tool.
Right.
And that life gets so much easier. So I like to be equipped.
So
I'm not good at cataloging it. Sometimes I can't find the tool I know I have. But I've accumulated
you had a DIY period in your life.
Well, anybody who's bought their house, and I bought my first real house was a fixer-upper kind. No, it wasn't a fixer-upper. It was just an old house.
Right.
So
you're talking about them when you're in Heights.
And I lived down on Mankey Park in a house that was built back in the 30s that had been kind of refurbed. So I moved back there. That was our first house. So you kind of, by its very nature, you end up accruing a fair amount of tools because I was broke and in a shack. So
I got you.
A lot of stuff I had to learn to do early.
And they had to call people over, call your brother. Hey, man, I need you to help me.
Thank goodness. XYZ. Yeah. Thank goodness for a family. Like that.
Dude, like there's so much stuff.
And all kinds of stuff when you're dealing with that.
Because most of my family lives in Dallas, Tyler, Houston. So not for my in-laws, like my in-laws have saved me a ton of money in certain situations, whether it be AC, whatever the case may be, because I just never learned that stuff.
Yeah, I've painted my house. I've done interior trim. I can do drywall. I can do tile to some extent. I've put some tile down in a bathroom one time.
I've done some carpet. I carpeted a house.
See, I've never tried to carpet because I don't have that little knee thing which you kind of used to stretch. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. I don't have one of those, and I don't think I could. That seems like that would hurt. Right. I never do electricity. I've tried. No. I tried the toilet and the underneath the sink. I have the proper tools, though it has never worked. I can get the stuff back looking a lot like it did when I started, but it
doesn't work.
There's a leak coming. For whatever reason, I don't understand gaskets. For whatever reason, they don't understand me. They don't work.
Yeah.
That plumber's putty, I don't understand that stuff. Why is it not really putty? I never understand why plumber's putty is just wet sand. That doesn't make sense to me, but doesn't agree with me either. I don't do electricity, but I built a deck, did that.
Oh, damn. I think that's impressive. A deck is you get man stripes for that.
Well, it's grunt work.
What do you mean?
It's hard. It's not building a deck ain't hard.
It's just tedious.
It's tedious and it's grunt work. You got to dig holes. You got to be able to saw. You got to be able to measure and corner. I mean, you don't want to, but really, it's not hard.
I had a big block of my fence got blown down, and the guy that came over, I helped him do that. Like dug the hole for the big one. So you know what? I'm a great assistant.
You're
like
a good
Rudy.
Gopher.
Grab that.
Go get me a box of toenails and a left-handed hammer.
Ice water. Gotcha. Want me to go get the tacos? Gotcha. But if you tell me to go get a tool and you don't explain what that tool looks like, I'll just bring the whole toolbox back.
You just were giving me memories of working with my dad.
Oh my gosh.
And
and he's like, dude, that's not an Allen wrench.
I just was too goofy. Everything was silly to me. So my dad was like, this is serious.
He'd get mad.
I'd be like, and then laughing and goofy stuff. And just leave. Just go. It's serious.
Yeah, I'm like, I like smoking a cigar while I'm assisting. And they're like, they're kind of like looking at me like,
are you good at the eyeball? You come in and look in, and when somebody else is working, like, you comfortable with that? Are you going to measure that one more time? Because I'm not sure.
Perfect example. So when we got with the plumbing company, he needed an AC. My brother-in-law's 20-some years HVAC. So the guy did our plumbing. We went to put in his AC.
Quid pro quo, this for that. I'm down.
Imagine me, guy learning how to use a weed eater, trying to help my brother-in-law put in a 2-ton AC unit.
No.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, I was like, yo, hold the light right here so I can see. You know what I mean? Like, useless, man. But I've learned a lot, though. I've gotten better.
You know, when I was in the Air National Guard, and I had to do.
You should know some stuff.
But I learned. I armed missiles and bombs, and took the wiring out.
Then what's a deck?
Well,
what's a deck?
Well, no, that's intricate stuff.
True.
So I learned just enough to be very afraid of electricity. There's some variables out there. Yes,
you know the power of electricity.
At that point, I learned enough to be very afraid of that stuff. I will not go near it.
Yeah, my extent to electricity is turn off the lights before I change the light bulbs.
That kind of stuff.
That's it.
Do you know where your fuse box is in your house?
Yes, it's in my garage.
Okay. Have you ever had to actually change a fuse?
Never had to change one.
Ever get that ozone smell when one pops?
Mm-hmm.
I've been dealing with that over the last couple of days.
Oh my gosh. Well, hopefully it'll be fixed today, and you'll be good to go. Your house will be warm.
There's nothing wrong that days and hours of work can't prolong around the house. I'm sure we're going to find something else.
No, man, you got 3.
I hope that's just the 3rd. I'm not sure if my
3,
wife's broken crown counts. I hope it does. I hope that goes on the master ledger of bad luck.
If you have to call the dentist and make an appointment and go in, that counts.
I think it should, right?
That counts.
So we've got poor
Ginger
coming to and the electricity,
and you've been talking about Ginger since I got here in July.
Yeah, she's
a fighter.
Yes,
she's a fighter because this was it. Like, we're in January. When I got here in July, you're like, man, my dog Ginger, and I'm like, damn, Ginger. And it's January. She's still kicking.
She's still kicking.
Good for Ginger.
Lucky, we call her.